Hello, it's Fellonius, the old yapper again. Yeah, I'm doing something. I am pretty much one of the biggest egoists in this world. I'm a real selfish arse, and no, that's not debatable. So, now and then I try to do some good deeds. It's not easy to do a good deed nowadays. If you do something nice for a person and they don't really know who you are, they stand there and watch and think, what do you want in return? There has to be a price. And if you say there isn't, then it's even more suspicious. So good deeds should be unknown. I really like those who, well, it's not intentional. The unintentional good deeds are my greatest ones. The intentionals, well, they are a bit debatable even so. Let me take you through an example from the other day. I'm a bus driver, so now and then I can do some good deeds. However, making anyone go for a free ride, well, that's not really me doing a good deed, it's the company. And they don't want to do that good deed, so it probably isn't a good deed anyway. But the other day I got a real good chance. It was departure time, and I knew that I had some guys on the bus that wanted to get to their jobs. And just as I was about to leave, there came two guys from another bus running towards mine. And if anyone runs towards a bus, they usually want to ride on it. And they asked, hey, do we have time enough to smoke? And I said, sorry guys, I can't do that. I need to go now. Well, they were fine with that, no problem at all. So they boarded the bus, paid the price, and went back and sat down. Now, this route, 638, from, some place, it should really be 639, because to my second stop on that route, you have 1 minute extra. And I knew that if I was on time for the first stop, then I would have 2 more minutes even so. That is 3 minutes for my third stop. And I thought, 3 minutes, that's enough for anyone to smoke, because that's a half a cig. So I thought, well, let's hope that everything works out fine. Now, I didn't tell them anything, because anything can happen out on the roads. So I drove, but nothing happened. Everything went smooth sailing. So we stopped at the second stop. I just told the guys, yay, you got 3 minutes to smoke. Now, it was only the one of them who wanted to smoke, but he went out and he stood by my front door with the bus and just had his eyes on me. I had my eyes after the other bus. I knew I should meet one at that place. But since I was early, 3 minutes, I thought, well, maybe he's late. And the 3 minutes passed, and I gave him yet another 10 seconds, and then I waved him aboard and said, time to go, and he was so thankful, took my hand, shook it, and said, thanks you very much, and went back. And, well, I felt very happy. Then we roll off again. But while we were driving towards my third and my fourth stop, and I started by thinking, maybe those 3 minutes took 15 minutes of his life. Perhaps those 3 minutes gave him lung cancer. If I hadn't given him 3 minutes of smoking, perhaps he would live longer. Suddenly the good deed wasn't a good deed anymore. Well, I'm not God, so I don't know what's going to happen, but still, suddenly the good deed was totally off. And then I thought, hey, this is a good topic for Fellonius Yapping. And yeah, I started to think, how should I put up this thing? And then suddenly it hit me again. No. Well, it is not a good deed, so it's okay, but telling you on YouTube about the good deed that I did would probably be the most selfish thing I can do, because then I benefit for the things that I done. Yeah, the selfish arse that I am. It's a little bit like Zen. If you are into Zen, you don't need to tell anyone. But if you need to tell everyone that you're into Zen, then you're not into Zen. It's a catch-22 thing. Later this week, I made a good deed, but I'm not going to tell you about it because I need those karma points. Believe me. Thanks for listening. Bye.